Okay, so before I start this video, I have sort of a channel announcement. So if you're here just for the video, you can skip to the time that is shown on the screen. So you may have noticed in my previous video that, for background footage, it's just me playing T-Hunt. And the reason for that is currently I'm playing less Siege than I would like to, and trying to compile 10 minutes of usable footage can be difficult. And the reason I'm playing less Siege is because I'm currently in my final semester of college, and as some of you know, I'm going into the education field and I'm student teaching this semester. And basically what that means is I work 8 to 4 Monday through Friday and don't get paid. So where I was playing 20 to 25 hours of Siege per week is now down to like 5 to 7. However, I want to keep pumping out content because I enjoy doing so, and currently this is my only source of income for the next few months. I just got laid off and can't really find another job at the moment, so I'm going to try to pump out consistent content, but I had to take a few shortcuts in that process. And I hope you all understand, this channel has never really been about amazing footage and clips. I'm not a champion out here with amazing clips to a crappy trap beat. This channel has always been about Rainbow Six Siege and a commentary on it. And up to this point, my process of creating these videos would consist of 90% of the time being focused on trying to find suitable clips and creating suitable clips, and 10% writing and recording. So I think that this new process will allow me to pump out more content that I'm happy with and content that I enjoy making. So anyways, that's it. On to the video. Okay guys, so I've had this concept in the back of my head for a while, and I think it would really help Rainbow Six Siege improve when it comes to helping the attacking team plan out their attack. And since the launch of Rainbow Six Siege, if you wanted to coordinate attack, you would have to rally on your teammates to know the map and callouts by heart, and to ensure that they could communicate effectively, which if you're solo queuing, it just doesn't happen. You know as well as I do that doesn't happen. But if you're in a 5-stack, it's fairly easy to coordinate your attack, but if you're solo queuing, you just have to hope and pray that your teammates have a mic and know which way they need to be pushing for a particular objective. And in my opinion, that really sucks. If you're solo queuing in a ranked match and you're going to attack like basement on Oregon, generally you're going to have to just go with a bunker push because that's the meta and everyone knows how to attack from that point. It's easier to push bunker with a bunch of randoms who know how to push that and what to do, rather than trying to coordinate a push from tower and freezer. And those attacks that aren't really the meta for a particular map can still be done, but it requires a lot of communication, which you won't get whenever you solo queue. So how can we fix this? How can Ubisoft improve the game to help the attackers more easily coordinate their attack? Well, Ubisoft already knows what could be done, but for whatever reason they have not done it or implemented it. And I think this game would benefit greatly from having a literal drawing board for the attackers to plan out their attack. And if you go and look back at the E3 reveal for R6, the initial plan for the game had this concept implemented, and here's what that looked like.
They're barricading all the windows.
Help me.
Ah, shit, they saw me, drone's out.
Okay, I say we breach the garage.
No, I'd rather not. I mean, they always defend it with a shitload of booby traps. I say we drop in the roof and breach the 3 second floor windows. We all come in at once. What do you guys think?
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
All right, let's vote for helicopter drop.
Roger that.
All set.
So as you can see, there was a rough implementation of this concept shown in the E3 reveal for R6, and I think this is something that would really work well within Siege, and I think that is something that would solve a big problem in terms of mitigating the downtime during the prep phase. So if this concept was implemented, some would wonder which part during the match would this take place, how would this whiteboard be implemented, how would it all work? And to me, the downtime during the prep phase is so annoying whenever you're on attack. Whenever you're on attack during the prep phase, you either do one of 3 things. You either keep your drone outside waiting so you can pick it up at spawn, you're either wasting your drone by going right into the bomb site and jumping around, or you're just trying to set up a drone that you can use for later in the round. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that happens rarely whenever you're solo queuing. Now, I think that the ability to drone during the prep phase should remain for that purpose, while also allowing your teammates to draw up a plan if they want to. And so, in order to encourage your team to participate when it comes to drawing up your attack plan, This comes with a caveat that you're either going to really like or you're going to hate. And that is the attackers should already know where the bomb site is. And the reason for this being is that you already know which site they are in, or it takes like 5 to 10 seconds to figure out which site they're in. The only big negative that would come from this would be that you can't really fake out the attackers and reinforce a different bomb site. But if we're being honest, out of the thousands of games that you've played, how often do you really do that? And so a big concern you probably have is like, how would this work well, or how would this work in a community that's so toxic? How can you draw up a plan when some dude is scribbling all over the board, drawing dicks everywhere? Well, my friend mentioned something of another game that has a similar concept implemented, and the way they prevent toxic people from scribbling all over the board and trying to ruin that is to just give each player a limited amount of ink, so that way they can only draw a few lines before it runs out. And each player would get a different colored ink, so you would know who's drawing what. So to really give a big overview of what this would look like, you would pick your operators and load in like you would normally. The defenders are going to be setting up the site, while the attackers get an interactive board on their screen that shows the layout of the map and shows which bomb site the defenders are in. Each attacker has a limited amount of ink to draw up their attack plan. However, if you're someone who wants to send a drone in to set it up for later, you can press the drone button like you normally do. That switches from where you're spawning to your drone, and you can drone from that spawn. You can then send that drone in, put it wherever you want. I think this is something that would greatly benefit the attackers, and they really need all the help that they can get. You know, Siege is inherently favored toward the defenders regardless of what map you're playing on. You know, the attackers have to go in and plant a bomb. The defenders just hold them off. It's inherently benefited towards them. Defenders will just always have the advantage. So I think that the devs need to be looking for ways to try to balance out the attackers and the defenders as much as possible. And I think one avenue to do so would be to give the attackers a tool like this, like an interactive whiteboard, to help draw out an attack plan. And if you're someone who, for whatever reason, doesn't like this idea, the only thing that would really change for you is that you know where the bomb site is. Other than that, you could still use your drone, go inside, waste it, do whatever you want with it. And you know, I would really like this concept just because whenever you're solo queuing, you have teammates who, you know, you'll have 2 or 3 teammates that just waste their drones in the prep phase, and you're like, what are you doing, my guys? Why are you sending your drones in? I mean, it makes no sense. And I think having this put in place, having less downtime to where you're less compelled to just send a drone in because you don't want to sit down looking at a wall for 40 seconds, or people who get on their phones for 40 seconds. Like, I would rather have them, you know, planning an attack, trying to coordinate something, talking about what we're going to do for the round, rather than just sitting there wasting your drones, not really doing anything, while the defenders are getting everything set. The defenders already have the advantage and they're setting up their site. They know exactly what they're going to do, whereas the attackers are like, okay, we're going to push this, okay, great, but you don't really have a visual idea of what exactly is going to happen. So anyways, that's my idea. Let me know what you think of it. Is this something that you would like to see implemented in the game? And what do you think could be done to improve this concept? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. I am the Senator, and as always, have a good one.